Today's topic is what are the treasures that bring one's happiness? Not the wealth, but the treasures. According to the sutta called Vitta, Vitta. So Vitta in Pali means a treasure. As usual, a deity raises a question for the Buddha this way. Kinsu de vittang purisasa settang, kinsu suchinno sukhama vahati. Kinsu have sadhu tarang rasanang, katang jiving jivitamahu settanti. What here is a human's best treasure? What practice well brings happiness? What is really the sweetest of tastes? How lives the one whom they say lives best? So Buddha answers to the deity. Saddhida vittang purisasa settang dhammo suchinno sukhama vahati. Satchang have sadhu tarang rasanang panya jiving jivita mahu settanti. The word saddha has couple meanings. So saddhi, the saddha is a Pali term, faith, but usually it has confidence, trust, faith, but we will explain that after. Otherwise, someone who doesn't know the Buddhist context of the faith may come up to a context where the other religions have, right? So we will be explaining that after. So Buddha says, confidence, trust, or faith is here a human's best treasure. Dhamma, practice well, brings happiness. Truth is really the sweetest of tastes. One living by wisdom, they say, lives best. Okay, so we'll first take a look at what is saddha, because Buddha says saddha, which means confidence or trust, is the greatest or the best treasure in one's life. So saddha, confidence, trust, all these words represent couple meanings. In the Buddhist teachings, Buddha says personal verification of what's going true is more important than merely believing in someone. But it's not practical. It's not practical, for a new person, for most of us, because we usually rely on someone to learn something, right? So that's why Buddha says there is another context of this word called saddha. That means believing in the Buddhas. So the Samma, the full Buddha, Pratyeka Buddha, and Arahants. So we know that they have attained Nibbana. So we believe that they have already attained Nibbana. So we trust their Nibbana, so the liberation. As well as we trust the Dhamma that which they followed to attain Nibbana. This is the Dhamma that we always get to read. But there may have some issues when any Dhamma, any text, any teachings is going to be documented. Like then, when anything is documented, it is being documented by different generations. So sometimes we get to see the same stanza is overlapped, or you can see it in multiple places. It's very repetitive. The books in there, like these two stanzas, you can see in other suttas as well. That means a lot of repetitions. So there are a lot of scholastic, academic type of discussions to cut down on the repetitions and to see what were the authentic or the concise version of the Dhamma. So anyway, that is not a problem. So what we need to understand is Buddha always asks us to use personal verification to understand anything. Don't just believe in someone as the first approach. You may need at some point, because you may need to develop some virtues. That's why, now in this case, we don't know, somebody may not know the deeper Dhamma. So then what would happen is, oh, it's the Buddha, so we respect the Buddha, offer things and recite stanzas. We believe that this is the authentic Dhamma, but it won't be authentic as long as we are not personally verifying what's going on. So I don't have, so that person may not have this personal understanding without just, doing that from a personal context. But sometimes you need to go in hand, because personal understanding might not be enough to understand the Buddha. That's why we need to go with Saddha. So Saddha basically means trust, confidence about the teachings of the Buddha, as well as those noble individuals, Buddhas, Pratyeka Buddhas, and the Arahants. Now, in this case, it is not even just the trust about the Buddhas or the Dhamma, but also the trust that we create in our normal life. Now, everyone of us knows that without trust, we can't do anything. You can communicate with animals, you can communicate to your loved ones, right? Because if the trust is broken, it's pretty difficult to maintain, very quick. It takes time. When you've been building up trust between, let's say, your parents, your spouse, and your children, your workplace people, and these people like this, but in the long run, if they get changed, all of a sudden you are pretty stuck. So this trust is the best treasure in our life for anything, almost anything. That's why we need to maintain it. Sometimes we are going to trust people, but we don't maintain it. Maybe we give good impressions to other people, but we don't maintain, we don't consistently stay like that. So other people get confused, So that's why Buddha says, if you can continue consistently your presentation, your virtues, your good things, consistent, not just one day, consistently, maybe at a balanced level. So other people will feel that it's pretty comfortable, easy to, get along with you and keep the communication, keep the friendships longer. That applies to all. That's why Buddha says. So now, the Saddha is the best treasure. Another word that we see in the canonical text is pasada. So Saddha is basically that you are believing in, trusting in things, someone. Like in this case, as I told you, on one side, the noble individuals like Buddhas, on the other side, Dhamma. In your conventional life, trust between individuals. But pasada, when we talk about pasada, it's much more, deep. You are sinking into the trust. Sometimes when you are not, this happens when you are consistently maintaining the saddha, then you are into pasada. Now in Mahayana teachings, Mahayana, devotees, followers, they think pasada is a big thing. They believe in, they trust in, like Buddhists like Amitabha in the Pure Land, because they think that's the most important part. Because if you don't have this firm understanding about the Buddha, and you won't make yourself to the liberation. So anyway, Saddha, Pasada, they both represent one thing but different stages. Anyways, trust, regardless of the Dhamma or the Buddha or our personal life, impacts us a lot, affects us a lot. So we need to keep it very careful so that we will see it is the best treasure. What practice well brings happiness? Okay, now we all want to be happy. Sometimes we are happy, but we don't know how to stay happy consistently. Sometimes we are happy and when we become unhappy in the next moment. And then what it says, what practice well brings happiness. So happiness has to be brought well, in its entirety. Dhamma, practice well, brings happiness. Dhamma. What is Dhamma? In the commentary it says, Dhammoti dasa kusala kamma patu. So Dhamma means 10 skillful activities. 10 skillful activities. I think we've been talking these 10 a couple times, multiple times in the past. Not recently, I think. What are they? There are 3 for the body, 4 for the speech, 3 for the mind. 3 for the body, not killing, not stealing, not misbehaving. 3 for the body. For the speech, not lying, not talking behind the back, not using hurtful words, not being an idle chatter or a gossiper. They are for the speech. Not being envious, not having thoughts of destroying other beings, and not having wrong view. Those 3 are for the thoughts, the mind. So when someone acts, when someone speaks, when someone thinks, these 10, when someone acts in these 3 actions, when someone speaks under the good side, the opposite of the bad side of the bad words, in these ways, when someone thinks good thought, 3 good thoughts, that's how you practice Dhamma. So when you practice those 10, that brings you the full happiness, full-fledged happiness. It's a full happiness. So when you practice 3, 4, 5, 6, skillful activities, then that means you are not having the full happiness. You get worried, right? Okay, so what practice well brings happiness? Dhamma practice well brings happiness. So Dhamma means 10 skillful activities. What is really the sweetest of tastes? We know taste, different taste, right? It could be sour, it could be different tastes there. But what's the sweetest of all the tastes? Truth is really the sweetest of taste. Truth. Now in this world, truth is always ignored because it's very bitter. Sometimes you can't talk, you can't speak the truth for different reasons. Sometimes you have to delay the truth because when you speak the truth, a lot of people are getting upset. There will be a commotion, like fight going on, but you're gonna keep to yourself. You are thinking, what would be the best time? What could be the best way to put the truth in action? But if you think it is a problem, then you're gonna delay it, right? But why the truth is so sweet, sweetest in this teaching? Buddha says, when you speak the truth all the time, it's very sweet. Everybody believes you. Everybody trusts you. You are not a person who is spreading rumors, who is not a gossiper, not an idle chatter. So you are highly respected and your words mean a lot to them. Sometimes it could be a lie. As we talked the other day, people make false promises. I would take care of you and all this, right? But in the real time, they wouldn't do so. So that's why speaking the truth, what happened, and staying onto the words you make, promises, they all represent truth. So that you are according to the truth. You are working under the truth, or you are staying onto the truth that you are making in the life and outside. That's why it is very sweet. So other things that you feel tasty, they are not this sweet. So that when you act on the truth, when you speak on the truth, when you think on the truth, it's the sweetest in our life. But we have to be careful. We with different people, different difficult people sometimes. Sometimes we are with some easy people. We have to think about how I communicate the truth between me, I and the other person, or I and with other friends, other people. So we have to be very careful, but we are staying onto the truth. The last question: how lives the one whom they say lives best? Now we all like to live. We don't like to die, right? There are different reasons. Why does someone not like to die. There are different reasons. I would like to live longer. I would like to take care of someone. I would like to enjoy my life. I would like to travel. There are different multiple reasons. But Buddha says, what could be the life that is well spent? One living by wisdom, they say, lives best. Wisdom. What is wisdom? We all know wisdom plays a bigger role. We need to be wise when we now, if we can look back, the 10 skillful activities, those are the activities that make you a wise person all the time. You are wise. You know what to do, what not to do. Do's and don'ts. At the same time, we should need to develop far-sightedness. Some people are short-sighted. They don't see what's going on at the end. We need to be far-sighted. Think broader, think deeper, as required. So that's okay. So on one side, staying on to the morality. On the other side, it is developing your perspective, looking at all the aspects. And also, Buddha says, wisdom in the Dhamma. What's the wisdom in the Dhamma? It's to see changes of everything in our life, in the world, in the universe. I think we see only the negative negative changes. Sorry, only the positive changes. When someone gets through an examination, oh, that's really good. When someone gets promoted, it's good. When someone is like all the good side changes, we see right away. We keep talking about those things. But when something bad happens to us or some other people, we don't talk about it. We don't see what's going on. And Buddha says that's the failure of everyone's wisdom, lack of wisdom. So we call it anicca. So we try to see most of the changes as much as we can. Then it is pretty easy to understand what's going on. And we come to a point, this is a normal thing, this happens, this is unavoidable. But what we can do is a change of the perspective. When you get to see the changes, it's pretty easy not to suffer a lot. When you don't do a practical view about the changes, when those changes happen to you, then what happens? You are pretty upset about it, right? You never expected this, but when you expect, that means you are trying to see the changes. The second thing is dukkha. That means you are into a lot of suffering. You have never thought about it. The third thing is when you don't see the changes and you are up for the sufferings, and then what happens? You are trying to make all the changes you, I, me, myself. This is mine. This is me. This happened to me, and you are not trying to deconstruct the difference between you and the event. But you can, because you didn't see the change. Because of that, you got to the pain, and then you can separate the event from you. And Buddha says, try to see the changes. When you see the changes, you are pretty understandable about what's going on. No suffering there at all. And then when something really bad happened, at the same time you understand that it's not me, not myself, just an event. I try to understand the event, not me. I don't want to connect the event to me. And that's the wisdom in the Dhamma. So the wisdom in our normal life and the wisdom in our perspective. A lot of people, when you talk about anything with a lot of people, they are black and white, right? They either see this side or that side. They are not looking at this whole perspective. Sometimes either is wrong, right? The problem is this inclusive understanding. That's what I talked as the wisdom in the second place. The third place is a wisdom in the Dhamma. And Buddha says, how lives the one whom they say lives best? One living by wisdom, they say lives best. I think it makes sense. So any questions?
At the beginning, did you say that there were 5 things that makes people happy or something like that? Because there's
fightings.
There's wisdom, which living by wisdom is the best.
There are 4 questions
There's
and
truth.
4 answers.
Four questions. 4 questions. So they're the 10 good habits of life, let's say.
10 skillful activities.
10 skillful activities. Okay. And then there's truth is the thing that makes one most happy. And
Let me tell you again. Let me read again. Saddha is the best treasure. Saddha is the trust. Okay?
Trust.
Saddha, trust, confidence, trust. Some people put it in faith too.
Trust.
Is the best treasure in our life.
Best treasure, okay.
Okay? Dhamma practice well brings happiness. So Dhamma in that case means 10 skillful activities.
Okay.
3 for the body, 4 for the speech, 3 for the thoughts.
Okay, Dhamma
Okay?
in this case.
Dhamma. Dhamma means those 10. Truth is really the sweetest of all the tastes.
Okay.
The sweetest thing is the truth, not the sugar.
Oh, right. So there's trust and truth. There's 2 things.
Yeah, they are different. They are
they're
differently
different.
explained.
Yeah.
But
trust
Buddha said
and truth.
in
Okay.
replying to him.
Right.
And one living by wisdom, they say, lives bad. So the well-spent life is based on the wisdom.
Okay.
Because when you practice Dhamma, then the problem comes up where you are directing yourself in your life. Your directions should be supervised by wisdom. Let's say you try to practice Dhamma, you've been practicing Dhamma, then what happens? You are sort of concerned where you are going into. Okay, so that leverage, that supervisor is wisdom, must be the wisdom. Okay, so that's why it says, there is the best treasure, there's the full happiness, there's the sweetest thing in the life, and the full spent, we call it like a well spent life.
Okay. Okay.
Those are different questions and different answers. Each answer has different, context.
Okay.
But you can connect between each other.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so if there are no questions, we're going to share all the good karmas with the departed relatives and the deities. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. May all the good karmas be shared by all the departed relatives who passed away. In the name of all of us, may they be happy and peaceful. May they attain the supreme bliss of Nibbana. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Idamme ñāti nang hotu sukhita huntu ñāteyo. Idamme ñāti nang hotu sukhita huntu ñāteyo. Idamme ñāti nang hotu sukhita huntu ñāteyo. May all the good karmas be shared by all the kind deities, devas, nagas. May they be happy and peaceful. May they protect and bless all of us. May they also attain the supreme bliss of Nibbana. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Ittavata cha ammehi sambatang punya sabbe deva anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Ittavata cha ammehi sambatang punya sampadang sabbe bhuta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Ittavata cha ammehi sambatang punya sabbe satta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Akasattha cha bhummata devanaga mahiddhika punyantang anumoditva Tuloka sasanang akasattha cha bhummattha deva naga mahiddhika punyantang anumoditva tudesanang akasattha cha bhummattha deva naga mahiddhika punyantang anumoditva chirang rakhantu mang paranti. Finally, let's make a great wish. May all the good karmas we've been accumulating from the beginning help all of us to attain the supreme bliss of Nibbana. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Now the monks will be blessing with couple more stanzas. Abhivadana Silis Nichang Vaddapachayino Chattaro Vaddanti Ayuvanno Sukhang Balang Ayurarogya Sampatti Sagga Sampatti Mevacha Ato Nibbana Sampatti Iminati Saminjatu. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Okay, let's bow down 3 times as a respect. Oh, it's getting late for you to vote, right?
That's right.
Before 9:30.
9:30.
Where's your polling station?
The school up there.
St. Joseph Elementary?
No, it's on John Dark.
Okay.
So
You plan to walk there?
No.
Okay. It's pretty far.
No, it's not far. I have my car. It's just going to take me 10 minutes to get there.